Hey, everybody. Okay, so today we're going to tackle two topics. We're going to do a double header. So I want to tackle when a guy doesn't have confidence to approach a girl, how does he get it? And forgiveness, because the two have to do with the same thing. Just follow me on this one. When a guy sees a girl, especially if he is not confident and doesn't know how to approach her, it's because he's not aware of anything he has to give her. It's because he's only aware of what he wants from her. She's hot, she has boobs, great ass, eyes, smile, whatever. That's where his focus is, what he can get, not what he can give. The biggest rule of thumb with any business, now I'll talk in business because this will really help you in your personal life. With any business is to be of value to someone, because then they take you in. This has been my blessing my whole life. Whatever I'm able to intuit as a Heyoka empath with the psychic ability and all that ancient wisdom and downloads I get is what has been so valued with me as an international trainer, to my clients in any business, film, or TV, or radio, or talk show that I've done. It's come natural for me. I'm very blessed that I have this other thing that I can offer without it feeling like work. Because it's such a, when you have something that you do that you really love, you're humbled by it. Anybody who's a really, really talented protege or a really super, super talented athlete, it's very low key because they come from a place of grace, not a place of arrogance, like people who have inherited a lot of money or screwed their way up or whatever. Arrogance comes from the need to make sure people are lower so they don't knock you off your throne because you know you didn't get there properly or authentically. So back to our guys and back to forgiveness. When you have something to offer, it fills you up. It acts as a shield so things just bounce off, negative and crap and things like that. So as a guy or a boy, as a teenager, this even further, he happened to be spooky as fuck gamer. Like, he can just see what was happening around the corner. He didn't think to let this part of it, probably because he didn't have a sister like me or anyone around him saying, "You're so fucking amazing. Oh my God, you're like smoking. You're so dope." He didn't have that. I bet he was more isolated, and I bet he kind of had put downs from other people or whatever in the house. But I bet he did not have a cheerleader next to him or someone that could put a spotlight on this magical, mystical trait that he can do with his hands and his intellect. Because if he did, he would walk a lot more in a bold fashion to the squirrel, which ultimately he did when there was a girl that he connected on a gamer thing because he overheard her. So this is my whole point. If you boys, before you approach a girl that's really hot, go do that favorite thing that you do that you know you ace. Go right after that. See, an athlete trains every fucking day. And he trains past the searing pain, past, oh my God, the burn. Blank out the feeling, just push. The only people who are going to understand this are hardcore athletes who go through the burn. But when you can do that, you'll fill up like a balloon. Not just your balls will be blown up. It'll be every part of you. And at that point, I was going to say you roll over, but you don't roll over to her. At that point, you bounce to her on those bigness of yours. And you shine because you speak from your winning attitude. And when you do that, you don't need confidence. You are confidence. Now, same thing with forgiveness. It's not about overlooking the pain. It's not about And it's usually really forgiving ourselves. It's not ever, even if you think it's not, about forgiving them for what they did, because they couldn't do what they did if they didn't have your permission. If you didn't overlook this red flag and that red flag and gave them this chance and that chance, because something they were doing you needed. Or you had to keep it because that was your belief system. If you felt like this was a fated thing, you blocked what was happening, and you're like, I need to still believe this, because if I don't believe that this was fated, it'll break my whole infrastructure and I'll be lost inside. You don't know all this is going on, but it's all going on. Forgiveness, letting go, doesn't happen on its own, because you can't. Let me scratch that. Letting go does happen on its own. You can't let it go. You know, people always are like, just let it go. Well, why can't you let it go? Because you can't. Because letting go is a passive action. And someone telling you to let it go is an action. So it's conflicting each other. That's why it doesn't work. It drops off like a scab off your knee once the gushy part and the pussy part has dried up and healed. It'll just eventually fall off. Now, the healing part, the process of getting all that gush out and everything to get dry and to mend, is you filling up on someone else or on something else. Because you notice when you do your hobby or something that you love, it loves you back. It's like you feel like it loves you back. You feel complete. So when you deal with someone that you need to forgive, or a situation, and again, it's never forgiving that person. You're always really angry at yourself. You're never, ever, ever angry at that person. You're always angry at you letting that person do what they do to you. So let's just put it where it needs to be. Home base. It's within you. So now people say you were hard on yourself. Just forgive yourself. You can't fucking do that. Why? Because you've got an empty space, or something was snatched from you. It's even more empty. What do you got to do? You just got to fill up that space. And the way you fill up that space, do you ever notice you can be really hooked on someone that left you, or whatever they did, or cheated, whatever. And then all of a sudden a year or two goes by, or you've been hanging around with a friend and something sparks. And for the first time in ages, you don't think about your ex. Well, you don't think about your ex because the new person's energy so fills you up. Even if your ex is in your life and it's like a marriage thing, it's like it does not affect you, because that emptiness was now being poured into with something new. So it's just like when you're in love. You ever notice when you're in love, nothing affects you? Like, do you remember the last time like you fell in love, or you're just like so high off someone? And then like you're crossing the street and you're like in La La Land, taking your time, and it's already the red light has gone to amber, has gone to green, and you're still like kind of crossing the street like that, and somebody from behind you's like, fuck off, man, and move your ass, okay? Like, go, idiot. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay. You're not even angry. It doesn't even fucking touch you, because the love has created a shield. Because once it fills up completely, it overspills and creates a shield that repels all toxicity. So you want to be in that love space. And you don't really need a person, although that does happen. We are blessed with a new person when we feel the honor within ourselves. When we've built up on something we're doing and we've had enough feedback that it's good, especially like someone just likes it, or someone commented, or you feel better about yourself, you lost a lot of weight, or whatever, you kicked some habit, you'll meet that person that take you to a whole other fucking level, because that empty space, you have built it up with someone or something new. And so we must always, whether we're approaching a project, a partnership, a hot guy, hot girl. You're not approaching the hot guy. He'll approach you, but approach a hot girl, or forgive And it shouldn't even be called forgive. It should be called uplift. Uplift, when you've uplifted yourself, the scab falls off. There's nothing to forgive. Because whatever that other person did in the process of the duration of time, whittle you away to nothing, suck you dry, like you were left for dead, like there was nothing left of you. They used and used and used. You didn't get back. You were caught up in that giving thing because you're preconditioned to that. Whatever the case may be, you were empty. Now that you're full, you don't need to forgive. You're not empty. You don't feel lack of. You don't feel like there's nothing to give, so need something. So the only thing that is there is the pain. How can you forgive that pain? You can't. It's there. You forgive it usually when someone else has entered your life, or when something else in your life has just come and taken you and just busted your balls in so many sparks like you can't even see, and you're happy. It doesn't mean you need to go forgive the person for doing what they did to you. They've got their own thing coming. It's just silent release of the noose that was around your heart or head, around you, holding you there in pain. It was loosened and it's gone. And now you can soar. So what you can do is, and you can look back at the situation, you can see what maneuvered you to this person, where you were lacking, where you ignored the red flags, where you were living off an old belief. And now that that scab has dropped and new shiny skin is there, you're no longer that person. That no longer will ever happen to you again. So I'm so fucking excited for you. And thank you for liking me. And thank you for subscribing. And I love when you leave your comments. Bye.